breaking news which is coming in. In the midst of a pandemic, people seem to have forgotten, especially our own rulers. At a time when it's Congress versus BJP over rallies, in this time, remember, the BJP has been saying that there should be no political rallies which should be held and COVID norms ought to be followed. The Congress is saying, look at the hypocrisy of the BJP. On your screens, you can see the visuals coming in of BJP's Jan Aashirwad Yatras with large crowds, and even some of them have guns which are moving around and also firing in the air. Let me go across to Deepak Bopanna, who is joining us. Deepak, clearly during these Jan Aashirwad rallies, the BJP leaders seem to have forgotten that there is a pandemic which is still underway.
Well, as far as hypocrisy is concerned, well, it's not just the BJP or just not the Congress. It's all political parties, especially in the state of Karnataka, that have themselves to blame. While on one hand, the common man, of course, is being fined for not wearing a mask. The weddings are being limited to certain people. There are other events, of course, that they're limiting. Social gatherings, they're limiting to a certain amount of people. But political gatherings seems like no rules apply at all. In this particular Jan Aashirwad Yatra that was held a couple of days ago in Yadgir, you had a former minister who himself was with the people who are holding guns, and there were hundreds of people, swarming their leaders there, and guns were used in that particular rally, and shots were even fired. Today, DK Shivakumar going on to say that while the Congress leaders are attacked over their massive rallies, it seems like there's a lot of hypocrisy from the BJP, where their own rallies have so many people. He even hit out at 3 constables being suspended over this particular incident. But overall, the Congress needs to also self-reflect on some of the events that they've held very recently. In Raichur, when Randeep Surjewala, DK Shivakumar, Siddaramaiah and several other Congress leaders held a massive program there. There too, there were, scores of people. An entire road was filled with people violating COVID rules. So, at the end of the day, the political parties should rise above suspicion today and set an example to the people. If they expect the common man in Bengaluru or in the state of Karnataka to follow COVID norms, the same norms should apply for our politicians. That doesn't seem to be happening here in the state of Karnataka.
We'll keep tracking the developments on that front. Clearly, all of that is forgotten in the midst of politics. Pandemics apparently does not matter. Thank you so much for joining us, Deepak, with all those details. But